Hey, what's happening, all you supersonic warriors out there? I'm Duuz-Diz-Din, and I'm coming at you with another issue review of IDW's Sonic the Hedgehog. This time it's issue 21, titled The Last Minute, Part 1. As our heroes are trying their best to find some sort of cure for the Zombot virus as it spreads across the whole of their world. Especially since Eggman is out in full force with his spaceship dumping the virus on city after city. Now, Tails is trying to make his way back to his workshop in order to analyze data from Sonic, who is running around trying to feed him information with a special device attached to him. That information will head back to Tails' workshop. Tails will analyze the data, look at it, and try to figure out a potential cure, as Sonic's running seems to stave off the virus, and hopefully Tails can figure out a way in order to get the virus done for good. Let's pick up with that. Now, unfortunately for our heroes, while Tails is helped out by Whisper and Tangle, unfortunately Eggman has also arrived in this particular city, dumping the metal virus all over yet again. And while Tails wants to help out with the evacuation, his work is too important, so Tangle and Whisper go in to help. So Tails heads into his workshop and he hides it out, with Tails regretting that he didn't get Silver's help while he had the chance. Sonic is racing around all the way around Barricade Town, with the bioscanner picking up all of his readings and all of the information. Though, once Sonic hears about the metal virus actually being in Central City, he wants to head over and help, but they need that data. It is crucial and they are desperate for it. Meanwhile, Amy and Cream are back at Freedom HQ. That way they can receive the data as well as a form of backup. But he also conveys to Amy that they're going to need shuttle assistance in order to evacuate the people who are able to survive this onslaught while Tails works. Meanwhile, Tangle tries her best in order to disperse a lot of the Zombots, but with her particular brand of tail-based powers can very much get her into a bit of trouble, so she has to stay at a bit of a distance, while Tails is trying his best in order to work out how the vaccine interacts with Sonic's biology. But the information they have is a little too weak, just having such an outside source, so he needs to go out and find himself a bit of a sample. And he manages to do just that. Unfortunately, he is spotted by the zombotified Chocola Chow and Cheese. Meanwhile, Professor Starline ends up heading over to Lost Hex in order to recruit the Zeti, because he got the information that, they have the ability to control mechanical systems, and he's hoping to ally himself with them in order to get them to manipulate the Zombots so that he can have better control over them as a whole. Unfortunately, it's very clear that Starline only knows so much of the whole truth behind everything. And as he goes in and requests the services, Zavok basically kind of slyly makes it seem like, yes, of course we'll be at Dr. Eggman's beck and call. And it's very clear that the Zeti have their own plans for how they'll handle this metal virus, and that they will make it so that Dr. Starline regrets ever making a deal with the devil. Meanwhile, Whisper's particular brand of skills actually proves to be able to, you know, keep the zombots at bay, because she's a sniper. Long distance attacks is what she does. However, it's starting to get a little bit hot as they try to request some backup, but they can't get in contact with Freedom HQ. And the only person they're able to get in contact with, Silver, really has his hands full in Ice Paradise as it's on fire. And they have to start to kind of get out of the distance of the zombots because they're getting a little too close for comfort. So they get in contact with Tails, who is actually starting to make a breakthrough with the virus and actually managed to potentially have found a bit of a cure. Possibly. Unfortunately, as he uploads the data to Freedom HQ, his systems go down because of Cheese and Chocola Chow. So he has to completely remove his servers in order to try to escape. Only for the zombots to start breaking in, he drops his server, breaking it, and he has to retreat to the Tornado 2. And Tails is devastated because he almost had it. He almost had everything, but he has no choice but to rush out of his workshop, leaving everything behind. And so he meets up with Tangle and Whisper. He tries to cover them so they can herd the survivors to the coming down transportation ships. And as soon as the people are clear, Tails has no choice but to have the Tornado 2, self-destruct so he can get away and get back to the rest of his friends. But there's worse news still. Not only do we not have a cure, not only did we lose Central City and the Tornado 2, but Amy tells Tails that the reason they only have one transport is because they had to hastily retreat as Restoration HQ has fallen with almost everyone inside. Things have gotten even worse than they were before, and next issue we find out how Restoration HQ fell, and who survived and who didn't make it out. Man, when it rains, it pours. This series has just continued to be a punch to the gut, and I'm kinda loving it, because it really makes you wonder, how are they going to get out of this? What's going to happen? Tails lost all the data he had on how to potentially cure all of this. And the fact that Restoration HQ has fallen as well, the last bastion of actual help for those who are trying to escape the metal virus, and now we're throwing the Zeddy into the mix as well? What's even going to happen after that? And the potential for the Zeddy to become a threat in and of their own right. They're already problematic with their ability to control mechanical functions, but dude, them controlling this virus, it could spell the end for everyone and everything. But who knows, the Zeddy might end up being infected as well, and that could even lead to something worse. It just, when it rains, it pours. I keep saying that, but man, it's just like, how's this gonna work out? What's the solution? We've lost every form of resource that we could have possibly gained. And we already know in Silver's future, for some reason, everything organic is metallic, but there were no zombots roaming around. So where did they go? What happened to them? What is the end in all of this? And how will our heroes survive? Nothing but doom and gloom, my friends, but tell me your thoughts, feelings, and theories in the comment section below. How did you feel about this issue? How do you think they'll manage to find a cure, if anything? And how do you think the Zeddy will throw a monkey wrench into all of Starline's plans? It's only going to get wilder from here on out, and I'd love to hear how you think it will go. But until next time, if you liked this video, leave me a like. If you didn't, feel free to leave me a dislike and tell me what I did wrong in the comment section below so I might better myself for future videos. Subscribe and hit the bell icon, that way you never miss out on another Sonic the Hedgehog IDW issue review. And until the next video, I want you to just remember that there's always going to be a little bit of a problem, but hopefully you can find a solution, even if it takes up to the last minute. Also, cameo by Marinette and Adrian in furry forms, like Cat Noir and Ladybug. Like, that's so cool. Okay, until next time, I'm Duuz-Diz-Din, and it's high time I went to bed. Bye-bye.